Alright, so let's talk. With the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2, we also got the reveal of a Direct coming in April. Now, if you've been following Nintendo for a little bit of time, you know that this is kind of unusual. Usually we get the announcement of a Direct maybe 1 or 2 days in advance, sometimes if we're lucky, a week in advance, but we've never gotten it 4 full months in advance. But with all that time, that gives us time to speculate and come up with some ideas for what we're gonna see in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct in April. I think something that we're gonna see is more talk about software. I do think we're gonna hear a lot about hardware, but I do think we're gonna have more software brought into the mix. I think they're gonna talk about that new Mario Kart. I know that with these announcement trailers that those are supposed to be just concepts. I do think that's a new game. They said the same concept thing about Mario Odyssey and Splatoon 2 when that was shown off in the original Switch trailer. However, we all know now, in hindsight, that those became real games. I do think that that's a real Mario Kart game that we're gonna see. Now, what I don't think we're gonna see in that Mario Kart is the gimmick from 8 come back. I don't think the Zero Gravity thing is coming back. There's been a gimmick for each Mario Kart. With Double Dash on the GameCube, we had the 2 people per kart. With Mario Kart on the Wii, we had the motion controls being introduced for the first time. And then for Mario Kart on the Wii U, we had the Zero Gravity along with the hang gliders and the underwater stuff that was from Mario Kart 7. I don't think the Zero Gravity stuff's coming back, I'm gonna be honest. It didn't really affect the tracks that much in my opinion. After your first kind of like 5 times playing the game, I don't even really think I noticed that I was upside down. However, I do think that we might see what the new gimmick is, but I think more of what we're gonna see is possibly new characters. I'm predicting at least 2 to 3 new characters will get shown off for this. I don't know if we're gonna see new first-party Nintendo characters like Inkling or Villager or Link, though I do think we're gonna see more characters from the Mario universe getting introduced to this. One that I really wanna see is Paper Mario getting shown off on this. I think there's a lot of cool ideas they could come up with for him and his cart. Now, something else that I think we're gonna see is a release date and a price. I think that the price is gonna be below $500. I think a healthy estimate is about $400 to $450. We gotta remember this is a brand new console. On top of that, it's a little bit more juiced up than what the Switch is from our understanding. I do think that we're gonna see a release date. I think that the release date is gonna be sometime in the summer. I'm thinking about more of a July release date personally. I think possibly August, but I don't think we're gonna go as far as November, December. I could always be wrong, but I think the summertime just makes the most sense for the system. It's enough time from the reveal in January to a release date that people had enough time to save up and to see what this new system's gonna have to offer. I think that a summer release date is more than generous enough. And going back to the price, I really think out of the 2 prices, the $400 and the $450, that $400 is more realistic to where we're gonna lean. I think that this will be a better console than the Switch 1, but I don't think it's gonna be that much more expensive. So I'm hoping that this still is a very affordable new console. Something that I'm hoping we see more of is Metroid Prime 4. From the trailers that we've seen so far, that this is gonna be the best game in the Metroid Prime series, and I think this is also gonna be a really good game in the Metroid series. What I wanna see right now is more gameplay on it. I think that the first initial trailer got me really excited and really hyped up for this. I'm obviously gonna be buying it upon release, but I wanna see more about what the game's about. I wanna see more gameplay, and I wanna see what we're gonna be doing in this game, and I am very excited. I think that this will be a game that does really well on the Switch 2. I do think it's gonna be very early life Switch 2. I don't think it's gonna be a release title with the Switch. I know a lot of people have been speculating that it's gonna be a game that is on both the Switch 2 and the Switch 1. I think that this will be a Switch 2 exclusive game, but I'm open to the idea of it also being on the Switch. I think this will be the best running Metroid game. I think it'll be the best selling Metroid game, and I think it'll be the best looking Metroid game, so I am really excited to learn more about it. Something that we've got a slight chance of seeing is Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, Pokemon usually does their own thing with the Pokemon Presents, and we usually get those for Pokemon Day, which I believe is in February, so we could see more of that in the Pokemon Day. However, Pokemon is the best selling franchise in the world, and it's one of Nintendo's best sellers, so I do think that there's a chance that we see this in the April Direct. This is something that's gonna sell very well on the Switch 2. I know we've been disappointed with the last few Pokemon games. I personally was a fan of Pokemon Legends Arceus, so I think them having enough time to work on Pokemon Legends ZA a little bit more than they had on Arceus, that it will be just as fun as Arceus and they'll correct the things that Arceus got wrong. I think we'll see better frame rates, and I think this will be a higher quality looking game visually. I'm hoping, and this is a big hope, that we get some voice acting. I think that's something that Pokemon has desperately needed, especially since Scarlet and Violet. Obviously, Mega Evolution's coming back, and that is something that a lot of fans loved, me included, so I am very excited to see that. Now, something else that we're gonna see more on the hardware side, I think we're finally gonna see what the C button is. They kind of smoothed over that button on the initial Switch 2 reveal. We all know it's not a screenshot button. If it was a screenshot button, they would have just shown us that then. I kind of agree with the leaks and rumors that this is gonna be a chat or communication feature. Xbox and PlayStation have had a chat feature for a long time where you can send messages natively through the console. The Switch's online feature with the mobile app, I really think just wasn't the best look for them. So I think a chat feature for them will be something that goes really far. Games like Splatoon and Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros. Could really use it. And I think if we're gonna get more third-party games, especially more third-party online games, that it will be a necessity for the console. Something else that I think we're gonna see more of is that mouse feature. Now, we kind of got that shown off in the reveal trailer. So I think we're gonna learn a little bit more about it come the Direct time. This is gonna be huge though for the Switch. It's gonna allow a lot of PC games that haven't really had a home to go on any actual console, a new place to go. I think The Sims will thrive on this. I think games like Civilization will thrive on this. Click and point adventure games will finally be ported to this system. I think it'll be a huge deal. First party games, I believe, will even benefit from this, like Mario Maker and Mario Paint. I would love to see those get a remake or a remaster or even just a new entry in the series. And I think it's something that the Switch 2 will hopefully use to its fullest capacity. Something that we really need to see is the UI. The Switch UI kind of got boring and a little stale after a while, especially the themes. That was a real letdown and a disappointment in my opinion. Just having the black theme or the white theme. I think that there really needs to be more options. The 3DS had a bunch of options. You could get Mario themes, Kirby themes, Animal Crossing themes, Pokemon themes, Zelda themes, even themes from third party that really let you customize the console to your preference. I think having the Joy-Cons being customized to your preference on the Switch was a big deal. I think having the themes that'll allow you to customize on the Switch 2 will be an even bigger deal. I think it'll just make the system feel more personal to you, and I think everybody loves some good customization. Now, something that I am personally hoping for is the return of an old first-party game, something like Star Fox or F-Zero or Kid Icarus or even Mother Earthbound. I think obviously some of these are more than likely than others. However, something that I would really like to see is a new first-party game. We've got a new first-party game for each console. From the GameCube, we got games like Animal Crossing and Pikmin. From the Wii, we got games like the Wii Play and the Wii Sports series. From the Wii U, we got games like Splatoon. And even from the Switch, we got games like ARMS and 1-2 Switch. Now, I know those weren't really the biggest sellers, but I do think we're gonna get a new first-party game. I'd love to see what Nintendo can do with a more juiced-up system. I think that there's a lot of space for a new really good first-party game. I'd love to see a new franchise come out of Nintendo, and I really think that's something that we can see with the Switch 2. Now, something else that I think we could see with this Direct in April is a third-party game running on the system. The biggest rumor right now is that the Halo Master Collection will be making its way to the system. I really hope that's true. That will be a massive seller for the system, and I think that will just strengthen Nintendo and Microsoft's bond. Something else that Microsoft has really made sure Nintendo will be getting is Call of Duties. It has already been pen to paper that we're gonna see Call of Duties on Nintendo consoles for the next 10 years. I think realistically, we're gonna see Call of Duty on the system within the next 2 to 3 years. Hopefully it might at least get shown off, or just a concept of a Call of Duty getting shown off on the Switch soon. Now, a game that I really think should be on the Switch 2 is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Cloud and Sephiroth have had a lot of great representation on the Switch, whether it be the ports of Final Fantasy VII or even just their inclusion in Smash Bros. Ultimate. They're some of the best and most fan-loved characters on that game. So I think seeing Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2 isn't that out of the picture. Now, a game that people have been talking about that they want to see on the Switch 2 is Elden Ring. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. We all know that that is a game that demands a lot, so seeing it on a Nintendo console with a good frame rate and a good picture quality is something that I'm not entirely holding my breath on. It's not impossible, but it's not something that I think is very likely for us to see, but I'd love to be proven wrong with that. I think if Elden Ring can make it onto the Switch, it makes it onto the Switch running quite well and just smoothly, that it will be something that blows a lot of people away, me included. So let's hope that that's true and that that comes out. So that is what I think is gonna happen for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct coming in April. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think that I'm wrong or right, and let me know what you guys think is gonna appear in that Direct. I am so happy that we're finally getting this Direct, and let's start a conversation about it and talk about what we think we're gonna see. As always, thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys next week.